A woman jailed for 8 years for duping her friend into believing she was a man and having sex with her using a prosthetic penis has had her conviction quashed. Ex-private schoolgirl, Gail Newland, 25, was jailed for 8 years in November after she fooled her friend into having sex with her 10 times by pretending to be a man. But the conviction was quashed after claims that the judge's summing up of the case had amounted to advocacy for the prosecution, when it was meant to be balanced. Newland, who wept as she heard the verdict, was released on bail and will now face a retrial after 3 Court of Appeal judges reviewed the decision, reports the Chester Chronicle. Although Lady Justice Hallett said they made the decision with a heavy heart as it means that the witnesses and the victim must face the ordeal of another trial. Nigel Power, QC, representing Newland, argued that Judge Roger Dunn gave an unbalanced summary to the jury, which favored the prosecution's argument. Lady Justice Hallett reminded the court that Newland had admitted guilt, telling police that she had to make up lies to cover up the other lies. She said that the bench did not agree the judge's summing up amounted to advocacy for the prosecution, calling his directions to the jury accurate. However, she admitted that the judge did not redress the balance after strong prosecution evidence to ensure the summing up was properly fair and balanced. Judge Dutton's, comments and questions resembled a strong prosecution closing speech, she admitted today, saying that the bench had real concern. She added, "We have searched in vain for evidence that the judge counterbalanced it. But unfortunately there came other stages where he undermined the defense case." Sitting with Mr. Justice King and Mr. Justice Dove, they held that the conviction was unsafe. Jurors at Chester Crown Court heard how Newland took on an alter ego, Kai Fortune, and disguised her gender from her victim by flattening her breasts with tape, wearing a swimsuit to smooth her curves and deepening her voice. She persuaded the woman, also 25, to wear a blindfold when they were together, and had sex with her 10 times until the victim ripped off her mask and saw Newland was wearing a prosthetic penis. Newland sobbed hysterically and screamed "I'm scared" to her family when she was locked up for 8 years last year, despite begging for a suspended sentence. The marketing manager from Williston, Cheshire, was described as manipulative and deceitful in court. In her defense, Newland had told police that her accuser always knew she was pretending to be a man, and that her disguise was part of a sex game as they both struggled with being lesbians. The court heard from her defense that she had been diagnosed with 5 psychological problems, including social anxiety disorder. After creating a bogus Facebook profile in the name of Kai Fortune, Newland was said to have taken on the persona of Kai as she mimicked a man to speak on the phone with a victim. The pair, who first made contact in 2011, finally decided to meet up in February 2013. Before they met, the complainant said that Kai had asked her to wear a blindfold because he was insecure about his looks following supposed life-saving brain surgery. She told the court, "Every time I met up with Kai Fortune I either had the mask on already or he would wait outside the door and I would put it on. I was so desperate to be loved. It's pathetic, so desperate for love, so desperate. We were just lying there, just cuddling, sometimes we would watch films, sometimes we would just talk. It sounds stupid to say but it was a proper relationship, just normal." She went on, "Since the first time I wrote to this person on Facebook, I thought it was a male. The first time I agreed to meet this person and agreed to have sex with them, I thought it was a male. I told my friends I was engaged to a guy. I told my work colleagues." During her telephone conversations with Kai, the complainant said she dismissed her boyfriend's high-pitched voice as a result of his Filipino heritage, the court heard. When their relationship became sexual, the victim was told never to touch Kai's penis. The pair spent more than 100 hours together, the court heard. But Newland's elaborate cover was blown when the complainant pulled off her blindfold and saw it was fake. The prosecution said it was an unusual case set against an extraordinary background in which the defendant targeted the naive and vulnerable complainant, who said she was not gay, in an elaborate deception. But Newland's legal team argued that the victim's account was impossible to believe and that a woman of her sexual experience could not have been tricked into thinking she had had sex with a man. Newland created the character of Fortune when she was 13 because she found it difficult to speak to girls in real life. By the age of 15 or 16, she went on to develop a Facebook profile of half Filipino, half Latino Fortune by downloading photographs from an American man's MySpace page. Kaya Newland, a former University of Chester student, shared the same birth date and both liked R&B music and chick flicks on their social media profiles. They also both had a dog named Gypsy, the court was told. The jury heard another woman said she had been duped by Newland into believing she was communicating with a man. Jailing Newland for 8 years last November, Judge Roger Duggan told the former creative writing student that she was guilty of a cruel and callous deception. "You are an intelligent, obsessional, highly manipulative, deceitful, scheming and thoroughly determined young woman," he said. It was later revealed that Judge Dutton has previously given more lenient sentences to pedophiles. In a statement read out to the court last year, the victim, who cannot be identified for legal reasons, said that Newland had poisoned her life and taken her youth and vitality. She said, "Not only have I had to delete all the friends I have made in Chester apart from one, I feel like I can't visit that friend or the beautiful city again. Socially I feel trapped. Still living in this invisible prison Gail has made.